Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Lucid. We are jumping back into our game with Middle-Aged Ulm. It is turn 26, and yeah, let's jump into it. If you recall, at the end of last episode, we decided to move on top of Scaleria's capital after Jotunheim's army got wiped out. So let's see how that went. We finished research and construction, we cast arcane probing and augury twice, did not find anything. A global portent. Jotunheim has cast Mother Oak. Oh no. Let's see, we have a battle on top of Sceleria. We just killed like a couple PD. And he pings us in Hawkwood. So no real battles, but Sceleria is bottled up again. We've got both of his forts sieged, and that means he cannot recruit more stuff. So we're quite happy about that. Events, we get province income up. Very nice. So we got more income here, and then here we have an event, gold plus 550. Very good. And then 2 dominion. So we're finally getting good events. All in all, very, very nice. Getting these gold events is... you usually want this to happen a little earlier in the game. We didn't get quite so lucky, but as our empire gets bigger and we get more provinces with our luck dominion in it, we should get more and more luck events. Eventually it will kind of cap out, where you can only get so many events a turn, but we're not very close to that yet. So, anyway, we've got these armies here. This army, we're actually going to storm the fort. We're going to leave one guy outside in case we lose. Basically, all our guys are just going to be at the back on hold and retreat, so his guys will stream forward. I don't think there's anyone inside this fort, but I could be wrong. And then these guys are just going to buff everyone up with Legions of Steel and Strength of Giants and Stone Skin afterwards so they don't get hit by slingers. So hopefully that will work. Here we are not going to be able to storm yet, but we are moving in more dudes. We've got this guy coming in with 5 Earth Gems, and we've got this guy coming in with basically just more troops. Now, one of the things you want to think about when you move... Oh, did I do this? No, we didn't. Okay. So never mind. The Earth Gems are for this dude. He can potentially stick his head inside the fort and earthquake everyone. So that is a tempting idea. The only problem is he could potentially get killed by Astro Mages with something like Mind Burn or Paralyze or Soul Slay. Well, he didn't have Soul Slay, and he probably didn't have Paralyze, but he easily could have Mind Burn. So they could Communion up and Mind Burn him, which would be annoying. I don't think that would happen, but I mean, this would be a fair amount of investment to lose. And if I think I would win the fight anyways, it may be better just to storm, but at least I'm going to have it as an option. So we're bringing this guy out, and that's basically it. We are continuing to kind of strengthen our... we're strengthening up this area. Basically, we're not able to max out recruitment here, but we'd like to. Getting a lot of dudes here, and some more mages. So, the nice thing about getting mages is it means later we'll be able to get more of our Black Plate infantry. But I do want to firm up this. I want to have a big standing army up here. That's kind of my goal. Okay, what else? I think that's actually about it for this turn. In terms of forging... Yeah, not too much interesting stuff going on. We're making Fire in a Bottle Alquills. More Alquills. Girdles of Might. Girdles of Might are so good for Ulm. Basically, 1 gem gives you 3 reinvigoration for your mages. Pretty sweet. I think that's about it. Alright, next turn. It's turn 26, so turn 27. A message from Sceleria. No worries, I would have done the same. I don't think I had any outgoing diplomacy, but this was in response to I had sent him, and I think it was in the last episode, a long message kind of explaining why I attacked him. And he basically just said, yeah, I would have done the same thing. Okay, so we get assassinated here. Let's see what's happening. new tricks from Sceleria. So he is doing... he's got a Berserker pelt, so this guy's Berserk, which means he's going to have pretty high attack scores. Looks like it's dark. Okay, so it's dark. Now, I'm not sure about the Berserk... Oh, wait, no. That's actually okay. Skull Talisman, Long Dead. Yeah, okay. This is a decent combo. Probably good against a lot of mages, but I may Blade Storm him. Yeah, and then that happens. Whoops. And I think... Did I do Iron Skin already? Yeah, this is not going to go well for the skeleton. Okay. So that's nice. We get assassinated again by Tricky Sceleria. Is it the same thing? No, this time he has Hydra Skin armor and a horned helmet and boots of the long stride, so he can close very quickly, and a Skull Talisman. But I have a Skull Talisman of my own, apparently. But anything else? Fortunately, I didn't get the Berserker pelt. That would have been a disaster. Uh-oh. We missed our first blade win. This could go badly. Nope, second blade wins the charm, though. Okay, so we killed that assassin. And that's good, because this was actually my really good dude, I think. I think it was my dude with, like, Earth 4. He also pings me just to see what he's got coming next turn. Because I should be breaking through his fort this turn. Yeah, the entrance to the fort of Sceleria has been breached. We can storm the fort at any time now. And you notice I'm taking these forts very quickly, and that's in large part thanks to the sappers. Okay, we actually have a battle inside a fort. Let's watch this real quick. Nothing really inside. And with that... Whoops. Yeah, does not appear to be going well for the proud Scalerians defending their fort. We have a few events. Unrest. Oh, no. Okay. And then false pretenders. That's annoying. We found a Jotunese scout. And yeah, those didn't find anything. So that is that turn. And basically now we have taken this fort from Sceleria. And we are going to be moving all our guys on top. Because I think there's a good chance that Sceleria is going to try to run out and fight me on the outside. Fighting actually, and I've thought about it now, and I'm not actually going to do the Earthquake poke-in like I thought about. The reason is... I think there's a bigger chance he's going to die, and actually fighting inside the fort is pretty good for me, because I'm going to have a lot of blade winds getting thrown out. I've got a fair amount of banishment spam. He's probably got a lot of ghouls. So I think all in all, fighting near that gate is going to be good for me. And yeah, killing some things with Earthquake would be good, but, you know, I'll take Sceleria one turn later, and there's a chance I could lose this guy, and so I think all of that combined, I'd rather just do it now. So, the longer this war with Sceleria lasts, the more open I am to getting attacked on other fronts by, like, Abyssia, or Jotunheim, or Uruk. So I want to get this war closed ASAP. So anyway, we're going to storm, and, yeah, the other thing that I've done is this army which is moving in is forward positioned, so it's in the front. And if you're ever doing this, you definitely want to do that, because if you can see, when we go into combat, if he breaks out of his fort to attack, he's going to smash into this army first and this army second. And what that is going to mean is that if this army takes a lot of casualties, that's fine, because this is the army that's going to be going into the fort. But if they were even, or this army was in front, then there's a chance this army gets beaten up, and then the remnants of it go into the fort and they also die. So this actually is a way to protect my army storming the fort. So we've got that happening. We're going to be site searching too. Like this guy's site searching, this guy's site searching. Are we building a temple? No, not yet. But that's basically it. And then a message to Sceleria, and I say, good game, dude. And a message to Jotunheim, and I say, how's it going versus the gangbangers? Who are Abyssia, which appears to be taking a fair amount of Jotunese land. I don't know what's going on. And Phalegra, who's down there. But anyway, so we'll see what they say back. So that is it for turn 27. Let's go to turn 28. Turn 28, we've got a message from Sceleria. Justicar Dread stood on the tall and proud walls of the capital of Sceleria. For months they had fought against the uncivilized horde of giants and slaughtered over 6 dozen of their sacred warriors. Then the greed and envious peoples of Ulm had taken advantage of their momentary weakness, and their heavily armored troops attacked the undefended backside of the empire. Without flinching, he looked towards the hail of stones and iron shards coming from their fanatic priests, their only desire to wipe out everyone of a different faith. A grim grin spread over his face, and secure in his knowledge that they would gain nothing. The fields had been salted, a large part of the population converted into ghouls, and every available gem sent to Ulm's worst enemies. Even if he couldn't have his revenge, others would do it for him. So this is possibly the final message from Sceleria. And I guess he sent things to everybody. He tipped me 1 gold, so thank you for the gold. We'll put it to good use. So anyway, this is a death basket going to other people. I don't really generally like death baskets, but whatever. Okay, a message has arrived from Bandarlog. With a new there's a new tailor in town. They have an amazing array of clothes, and apparently they have an excellent seamstress, or seamster. What was their name? Garrick, I believe. You should check out their wares. Oh, did I say they were a great ape? So, I don't know if this is a hero or something like that, but I guess he has construction, or a hero, or I don't know. Augury, arcane probing. So we are just wasting a ton of gems on remote site searching, and we are getting 0 luck. But we kind of have to do that. I have to site search. Yeah. So a battle in Grog's world. Sceleria attacks us here. A battle here, Sceleria attacks us here. A battle here, Sceleria attacks us here. I don't know if on the turn, you can see Sceleria's god dies. I think on the turn the god dies, it retroactively makes all the scouts pop out. I don't know fully how that works, but it appears so. There is a battle here in Sceleria, and then indeed a fortress. So, a battle in the fortress of Sceleria. So these are our armies. Here are Sceleria's armies. You can see he's primarily got a bunch of priests, and these priests are actually not great at fighting. If he had mages, it would be better, but the priests are, if you watch my Sceleria Let's Play, far more economical for cranking out undead, and they've got a good amount of undead, but not a ton. So, he does also comically have a fair number of Jotun Jarls, so there's that. And it does look like he will have enough to get Unholy Power off. Where's Judge Dredd? I feel like this is probably Judge Dredd. Yeah, Judge Dredd the Prophet. So I assume that is who the message came from. We can see the slingers on the walls. The bolts of iron begin to hail down. Our priests have gotten off iron skins, so they're looking like they're in good shape. Banishment coming down. And just huge amounts of blade winds coming in. And blade winds are going to tear these ghouls up. And just look at that. They're getting decimated by the dozens. And these long dead are pouring out. What was really nice is all their dudes have gotten clumped up here. And so my mages are all preferentially targeting this big area rather than this little narrow area where they may cause friendly fire. So Yeah, this is going pretty damn well. Let's check back here. I think most all these guys should have... Yeah, they do all have unholy power, so they do get buffed up. Okay, apparently my horses have gotten scared and they're running away. Now, I need to get these guys on the wall, but I think most of my mages are fatigued out now. We're in a little bit of an awkward position for the next few turns, just because our guys have not broken through yet. There's a few kind of guys up here while we're getting pelted with stones. And meanwhile, their whole mage corps hasn't run, but they're not really doing much useful, so it's really a matter of time. Oh, that's interesting. The slingers are running off the walls. I don't know if I've seen the wall people successfully retreat off the battlefield, but it appears that has happened. But the slingers have made it out, and now we're coming back here, and Judge Dredd just took a big bolt to the face. Yeah. And so he passes, and the forces of Ulm close in to finish what they started, and so forever rest Sceleria. Now, let's look at it. It's turn 28 or something? This is about when you need to be killing Sceleria. By turn 40, it's kind of too late. So you need to start probably around turn 20 and then finish by turn 30 if you want to do it. Or be well on your way by turn 30. Okay, so a peddler was peddling his wares. Okay, so we just got some gems. And we got a barbarian lord. Let's see if he came with anyone. He did not. I've already given him some dudes to patrol with. So anyway, there we go. Sceleria is gone. And now it's really going to be a question of what we do next. And the first thing we're going to do is I want to get my very good Dominion over here. And you can see all of, whenever somebody dies, all their Dominion goes. So we are going to be getting our Dominion here basically as fast as we can. I'm not going to be building a temple here because this right now is destined for Jotunheim. And but I am going to be putting a temple up here. We're putting a lab in first so I can start recruiting mages. Here, I'm not really doing anything. But one of the consequences of this is you can see I'm not maxing out recruitment. I'm going to need to be putting a fair amount of money into infrastructure here, like to do a lab up here and do a lab and temple here. And right now I've kind of got more forts than I can produce out of. So you can see it's not necessarily looking great on the recruitment front. Like we're just basically getting these guys. Let's see where I'm building things. I know I'm building a few things. Yeah, like we started a palisade here, either last turn or this turn. Don't think we're upgrading there. I think there's one more thing we're upgrading somewhere. I'm not totally sure where that is. Are we upgrading this? No. I don't see us putting a temple. Oh, that's right, we're not putting a temple here. So anyway, yeah, I'm not totally sure, but I'm really cash poor right now. You can see after upkeep I'm only making 1,600, which is not bad by any means, especially for turn 28, but it's not awesome. And right now we can definitely produce way more than 1,600 gold worth of stuff out of all of our forts. So, and that's not even a bad thing either, because a lot of times you'll want a little more fort production capacity than you have gold, because you can choose which part of your empire you get to build them. Whereas if you only have enough forts to produce the certain amount of gold that you have, then you're basically going to be forced to build in all your forts, no matter whether that's where you actually need reinforcements. So that's basically that. We also need to get the unrest down. Like here you can see there's 27 unrest, so we're going to be patrolling here, we're going to be moving and patrolling there. Some of this was left over from the Comet, and some of it's just from kind of conquering a new land. But that's basically it for this turn, and that is the fall of Sceleria. We we send a message to everybody, and we say, "Citizens of Endworld, we bring great news that all living nations may rejoice. The undead plague, which welled up and rose to the edges of our levees, has subsided. Many brave Gamherdings and Elmish warriors died fighting the legions, but alas, the forces of the living prevailed against the undead. Each brave warrior who died, taking down many undead with him. Judge Dredd and his thralls have been put to the sword, and all bodies are burned so that necromancy may not rise again in our lands. We thank our giant compatriots, and we will prepare for a new era where the living of each nation may grow and thrive without the divine corruption of death. The Stranger, Lord of Ulm." So, I had messaged Jotunheim in Discord this turn, and basically, judging by a few things that I saw, like the fact that Abyssi has taken these lands and has held it, Phalegra is now sieging this fort, and he said it's basically not going super well. Now, one thing I could do is I could attack him. I mean, we have a nap 3, so I'd have to wait. But I don't really want to do that. I mean, he was very instrumental in taking Sceleria. He paid a huge part of the cost. He made some mistakes in terms of how he attacked. Like, he didn't need to probably lose as many troops. But, yeah. I don't want to punish him for his helping take Sceleria, because there's a good chance they would have won the game if we didn't team up and take him when we did. So, Sceleria is his, and I promised it to him, so I'm not going to change that. But what I told him was, hey, you're going to need like 100 troops to just sit here for like 3 or 4 turns to take this fort back. And I mean, I'll move my men out and you can take it. So we can do that. Or you're kind of in this war now. I can pay you for it, and then it will be mine. Oh, that's why I don't have any money. I told him that I can pay him 1,500 for it, and I can give him 400 of it now and 1,100 next turn, and then Sceleria will be mine. Now, I'm not obligated to do this exactly, but I think it's a very decent thing to do to somebody who was very instrumental, and I feel I would really be screwing him if I didn't do it. Because this war, I mean, I did everything I could to help protect him, and he was going to get attacked anyway, and he did start the war with Sceleria without me, like, heavily pressuring him into it. But we wouldn't have won it without him, and he paid a huge cost for it. So the least I can do is give him 1,500. The other thing is, I don't really want him dying quickly to Abyssia and Phalegra. I would much rather have them duke it out. So, if it helps him survive it, I'm totally willing to pay 1,500 to that cause. Yeah, so anyway, that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. So I sent him 400 gold and then a message saying, okay, owe you 1.1k more, purchasing Sceleria per our discussion. Okay, so this will be mine. Now, in addition to getting a fair amount of income, the income in here is going to jump up once we get the unrest down and my dominion in here. I'm also getting a death income, and I get a little bit of astral, but mostly death. Now, the astral I can totally use. The death is actually going to be coming in quite handy. I didn't have a death income source until this, but with Ulm, we do have the ability to reanimate long dead, and our long dead are very, very good. They have heavy armor, and they have better weapons than normal long dead. We have to pay death gems for it. We can't do it with priests or anything like that, but it will give us a way to potentially go underwater, and it's very solid. So, especially if we forge amulets of the dead and we put them on our death dudes and then they summon long dead, it's not a bad use of death gems. And with all the buffs we're going to have as Ulm, Legions of Steel, Army of Lead and Gold, those are going to be very, very useful ways to kind of shore up my armies. Now, the one problem is I don't have any death mages right now, but in not too long we will have my Pretender, and my Pretender has death magic paths on him, so one of the first things he will do is going to be a bunch of death magic stuff. We are going to be getting Revenants, which are Death 1 mages. We're going to be giving them Skull Staff so they can summon more Revenants. They're going to side search my land for death using Dark Knowledge. And then once we have a sizable death income, we can start doing reanimation. So those are kind of middle run plans, but it's going to be made much easier by this. If I didn't have any death income, then I would probably only be able to cast Dark Knowledge a few times, or I'd have to make a Revenant, and the Revenant would have to manually site search with Death 1 for a while, which would be pretty bad. So this is going to greatly speed up my path into death, which would be very good. So I kind of lied when I said Necromancy's dead. Divine Necromancy's dead. We are going to be doing the Techno Necromancy, which is like using death magic instead of priest levels. So that's that. Now, so first goal is to get Unrest down, and then after that, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do, because I don't think we're big enough yet. We're going to need to get bigger. And our income, we've site-searched most our stuff, but our gem income is crap, to be honest. I mean, this is not good. This is like very, very mediocre, and for Ulm, we need a lot more gem income than this. So we're going to have to come up with a plan. But anyway, hope you enjoyed watching, and hope you tune in next time. See ya.